Colonials is with me right now. You've got to feel excited. You've got to feel jubilant. You have to feel relieved a little bit, too, I would think.
Yeah, all of those things describe my emotions right now, Shove. I'm excited, and I'm glad we won the game. I'm not sure we deserve to win the game, but I think sometimes a mark of a good team is a team that finds a way to win even though they're not playing their best. And you got to give a lot of credit to Youngstown State. I mean, they ran great offense. They made us go to a zone for a little while to try and change the tempo of the game. And, with 3 minutes and 47 seconds, we were down 7, and we ended up outscoring them 11-1 to finish the game. And, our guys finally kind of locked in, and they made big plays when they needed. Ant Myers' 3 was huge. Obviously, Karan's was the game winner, but I'm just glad, like I said, relieved that we were able to get out of there with a win.
It seemed like it was going to be just one of those troublesome nights for you. You were down by 7 on a number of occasions, and all of a sudden you started fighting your way back. Then you'd be within 5. Then you'd be within 3. You get to within 1. All of a sudden they'd pull away again, and it just looked like it wasn't going to be Robert Morris's night. But again, your guys found a way to get it done.
Yeah, I think they definitely did a lot of things early, gave themselves some good looks. I'm not sure we were as sharp as we needed to be defensively. And we were just a little sluggish in our communication, some of our closeouts. It was things that we had talked about coming into this game that was going to be so important, closing out on shooters, trying to run them off the three-point line. We didn't do a great job of it tonight. They make 9 threes a game coming in, and they made 12. But, we were able to, I think, do enough. They missed a few down the stretch that, would have absolutely put the game away. And, we were fortunate to get this win for sure.
Andy, let's be honest, though. You had 2 guys with broken noses in the ballgame, and you're missing your starting center.
Yeah, but we don't think about those things in the course of the game. We look at the fact that, this is, if we control what we're capable, if we follow our formula, we need to put a better effort forth than we did for the first maybe 37 minutes of the game. And we kind of came on like gangbusters late. We had a little run in the middle of the second half where we took the lead by 1 when Lucky had that alley-oop. And, I thought that might be when it started to turn. But, again, credit Youngstown State for coming and making some big shots. We had a couple defensive breakdowns, and I'm not sure how we won. We'll figure out when we watch the film, kind of where it was at. But going into Christmas, it's nice to be able to have a couple days off knowing that you were able to steal one and get to 10 wins before Christmas time.
First time in school history at 10 wins at this juncture of the season. That is fantastic. A feather in your cap. Congratulations on it.
Thank you. I just told him in the locker room 2 weeks ago after the Cleveland State game, I told a little lie and told him that 9 wins was the most we ever had at Christmas, and so if we wanted to beat the record, we had to get to 10. And I just broke the news to them. They were relieved. They didn't get too mad at me, obviously, because we won the game. But, finding ways to motivate them and finding ways to get them excited about what they're capable of, I think, is what our staff has been trying to do. And, every time we go out and step on the floor, I want to make sure we play to our potential. We didn't do it exactly beautifully tonight, but like I said, we found a way to win, and guys made big plays and big shots as we came down the stretch.
Andy Toole, the head coach of the Colonials, with me. We're courtside here on WPIT Pittsburgh and across the web on rmucolonials.com. Robert Morris wins its 10th game of the campaign against 3 losses here in the earliest part of the season that they've ever hit the 10-win plateau. 59-56, an unlikely win here at Youngstown considering the game flow tonight. Typically at this juncture of the broadcast, I'll go back through the entire game, but I only want to take you to the 41-second mark of this ball game because Youngstown State had the lead with 41 ticks left in the game. Yes, they did. They were up 56-53. All of a sudden, Anthony Myers, who struggled during this game quite a bit here tonight, got his hands on the ball on that deep right wing side and launched a 3. That tied the game up, and people started coming out of their seats on that shot.
Yeah, it was, against their zone, sometimes it's hard at the end of games to get a quick penetration or to make something happen really quickly, but Velton was kind of able to get into the lane, collapse the defense. He threw it to Ant, and I was just screaming behind Ant to just shoot it. We weren't going to get a better look. We didn't want to waste any more time. He had his hands ready. He did his work, and I got to give Ant credit. He's one of those guys who, over the course of the spring, summer, and fall, and even now, he's continued to work on his shooting. He spent a lot of time in the gym. He tried to rebuild his shot a little bit in the springtime to improve his percentage. He's shooting at a pretty good clip right now, and so when he gets in rhythm and his hands are ready, he's a pretty good shooter now, and I'm glad that he had the confidence to step up and make that shot because all of a sudden I think, the Youngstown State bench kind of went into a little bit of a panic because,
I thought so too.
That was a guy I don't think they expected to be able to put that shot in the basket. And so great play by Velton, even bigger shot by Ant. And all of a sudden our guys, I think, really started to believe that this was something that we could pull off.
40.3 seconds left in the ball game. It was tied at 56 all thanks to Anthony Myers. Youngstown State brings the ball into play. They bring it into the forecourt. Jerry Slocum calls a timeout. He wants to win the game right then and there. You bring your guys into the huddle, call them to the sidelines. You're setting up a defensive play, and you're also trying to figure out what to do if you get the ball back on a missed shot. Never had that opportunity to pull it off because with 8.2 seconds left, Youngstown State turned the ball over thanks to your defense. Frankly, inside the lane, they try to kick the ball back out. They throw it into their bench.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out. I was doing some quick math over there and trying to figure out if they scored late in the shot clock, how much time we would actually have left. And I was thinking we'd probably have 5 or 6 seconds. And I told our guys, make or miss, let's just try and run it down and score. I didn't think we'd be able to get it down into the half court, call timeout, set a play up, inbound it, with the amount of time we had. And I thought maybe if they scored make or miss, maybe Velton or Ant could get ahead of steam and maybe make something happen. So that's what we had originally planned coming out of the timeout. And then they ran a ball screen play and isolated the entire side of the floor. Velton made an incredible defensive play. He said he wanted to guard Perry. He just had a will about him that he wasn't going to let him get to the rim. And he defended him and sped him up, and Perry ended up turning the ball over. And so we had 8.2 left with a little more time to operate. And so we were able to kind of settle things down, call timeout, and then, draw a play up in the huddle. Coach Pridgeon came up with the suggestion for the play, which was a great call by him. And Youngstown State decided they were going to switch everything, and Velton just took all 5 guys into that deep corner. We knew we had Ceron coming behind him, and he made a great pass, and C was ready. And I'm glad C, like most shooters, has a short-term memory because there were a couple other open ones that he didn't take advantage of, but he hit the one that really count.
Yeah, he was another guy who was kind of struggling during the middle of the game. He was 5 of 15 tonight, 4 of 10 from Trey, but the one that counted came at 0.1 seconds left. Actually 0.1 second when you get precise, because the officials came over, they viewed the video monitor, they checked it out, they slowed it down twice, they actually stopped it. I was looking over your shoulder where the video monitor was, where they were watching, and when they stopped it, it showed 0.1 second left on the clock, and the ball was out of Karan's hands, and when it went in, that was victory for Robert Morris.
And Shove, you didn't see me, but I was over at the bench. I was trying to look at you to see if you could give me a signal about what they were going to call. Because I was trying to see, but my vision isn't good enough to see all the way across the floor on that stop time. But I thought it was good when the shot went off.
I did too.
It seemed like as soon as the ball went through the basket, the buzzer went off. So I thought it was good the whole time. And I'm just glad the referees agreed with me for once tonight.
Well, I've got to get you a radio or something on the other side of the floor, because I called it as a good basket, and I said, I believe the officials are going to see what I just said.
Yeah.
And they did.
And Shove, that's why you're the best in the business.
I don't know about that. Coach Toole, you're the best in the business right now as far as Robert Morris basketball is concerned. And 10-win plateau, just marvelous here as you get set for the Christmas holiday. And this sets you off. You want to come back after the holidays and get right back into it. You've got a tough one in Memphis, and then you swing into conference play after the Ohio U game. A couple of conference games coming up. So you're going to be on the road quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I said to them. Go home, enjoy this time with your families, relax your bodies, kind of get rejuvenated, and then be excited to come back. This is a great time of year to be able to, without having class to go to during the day, to really attack some of your weaknesses, tighten some things up. I'd like to continue to try and create some more depth off the bench with guys that are understanding fully exactly what we're trying to do. And so this is a great time to do that. And I'm hopeful that when the guys do come back, they're excited, they're energized to get back into practice, get back after it, and see where this can take us.
Andy, nice job. Congratulations on this big win. You pulled one out of the fire tonight, won it here in Youngstown. Hostile floor here tonight.
There's no doubt about it, Shove. It was a great win.
All right, Andy Toole, the head coach of the Colonials, with me courtside here on 73 WPIT Pittsburgh. Again, it was Karan Williams draining a triple from the high right side with 1/10 of a second remaining in the ball game, all set up by Anthony Myers, who knocked down a 3 of his own, almost from that same spot, a little further to the far side. That came with 40.3 seconds left. This is after Youngstown had a 3-point lead. The Colonials tie it up on Anthony Myers' shot, 56 all. Then they turned the ball over, Youngstown State did, and then the Colonials get the ball back. Andy Toole said Robbie Pridgeon, the assistant coach, drew up the play. and Karan Williams and Velton Jones pulled it off. Williams getting the triple, and it's 59-56. That is our final score here tonight. And that will conclude our coverage of Robert Morris basketball live on 73 WPIT Pittsburgh, the home and away voice of Robert Morris University sports, and of course on RMUcolonials.com. I want to thank Dan Wozniak at our studios in Pittsburgh for turning all the right dials, and Coach Andy Toole and the Colonials for pulling off a big victory here tonight. They do it with no time to spare. 59-56, the final score. Karan Williams getting the buzzer beater for the 10th victory against 3 losses on the season. Don't forget, a week from tonight, next Thursday, between the Christmas and New Year's holiday, Robert Morris will take on a tough one in Memphis. We'll be in Tennessee for that one. That'll be a 7 o'clock start next Thursday night, 6:45, the pregame show with Coach Toole and yours truly. I'm Chris Shovlin saying so long for now. Final score here tonight at the buzzer, Robert Morris 59, Youngstown State 56.